players are gonna wager €15 each here. They're wagering 5 meal deals. Well, you know, when you think about it like that, that's pretty cool. Like the winner of this, or the loser of this match is paying for a week of meal deals for the opponent. You know, it's not 200k, but it's a week of meal deals. Still, they're going to be delicious. Meal deals are 350 everywhere. Okay, or let's say 4 meal deals. Let's get into the match. Eye Popper, thanks to the 9-month Prime. I just realized it's Eye Popper is a different way of saying that. Well done. You got me. And we've also got Quilthy Cheeks with a 2-month tier 1. Welcome back. 3 gifted subs from I Amaminated Sam. No, it's not I Aminated. I always say I Amaminated. This is the annoying thing, right, about my alert box. For some reason, it makes every letter lowercase for no reason. I'm going to copy paste what I see, just so you guys can see how confusing this is. I'm going to copy paste what the alert says, so you guys can see it in chat. Look at this. It says lowercase L on the first one, but then it says uppercase L for all of the rest of them. Why does it do that? Why is Twitch messing with me? Why are Streamlabs messing with me so much? They're trying to make me sound idiot. It's Laminated Sam. So, yeah, sorry about that, Laminated Sam, but it does say I Amaminated Sam over there. Great save there by Mawkzy. The nice CRR, the 2-goal lead early on. Twitch API. So I don't know if it's Twitch API or if it's Streamlabs API. Probably Streamlabs API. Burgerman5, thanks for the 3-month Prime as well. Appreciate the resub. CRR off to a great start here. He's up against one of the established top 3 EU ones players at the moment. Mawkzy really putting himself up there at the Jackjaw level. But CRR is right beneath him. He's had a great Gamers 8 showing. Now he's looking to continue to pop off in the Showmatch scene. CRR is one of the most aggressive defenders in the game. He just goes. And even if you know he's coming, he's so good at it. He picks his angles very well when he challenges. So even if you know he's coming, he's still going to get a block, or he's still going to get a 50 a lot of the time. How is he going to handle the Mawkzy flicks is another interesting aspect to this game. I'm looking forward to seeing how they get on with that one. Great recovery by CRR here. 3-0. Just, again, he just goes. He just lunges in close to the goal. He's so good at spotting those openings. So good at identifying when his opponent doesn't see him coming. And Mawkzy deflecting the ball to his back corner. CRR fakes that he's going for it, but has no intention. Mawkzy lines up. Yeah, another flick. CRR, I think, is going to counter those nice and early, as he does again here. I think once more, he just sticks on the ball to force Mawkzy into an uncomfortable position. Yan next. I would love to cast a Yan match. I don't know if Yan's available though right now, but I would love to cast a Yan match. Yan's in America right now, isn't he? He must be. Must be in America. Because I saw you go rank 1, which would make sense if Yan went to America like 2 days ago, and then he plays 1 day of NA ranked. That's probably enough for him to get rank 1. Who did he beat for rank 1 though? I saw Jack lost some points. Did Yan farm Jack on NA servers? By farm, I mean like beat him twice or something. Yan versus Daniel. Imagine Yan and Daniel combined. Yaniel. Oh, what player. Mawkzy missing a tight angle open net from the ceiling shot there. I'll message Mateus. I'll say, I'll see if Yan is around today. Maybe we can get Yan right after this if he's awake, if he's at the facility. They're probably just over there in the morning. Right now it's 11 in the morning in Texas. So they're in Texas. They might just have finished brekkies and gone over there. Yeah, TRK is still in Saudi Arabia. He trolled everybody on his Snapchat story. He posted a flight, and everybody thought he was flying to America, but he was actually just going to another part of Saudi Arabia. Good little turn there by Mawkzy. This is what you got to do against CRR. CRR, he'll just continue to go for these low boost, surprising challenges, but Mawkzy knew that there's a high chance CRR is actually going for the ball there, whereas a lot of other players might just play the boost instead. And he pops the ball. It's a very safe option, because even if CRR is not there, then it's fine. You've popped the ball into a position that you can chase after. So Mawkzy already getting an early counter on the CRR defensive style. Will probably force CRR to shadow once or twice, just to keep Mawkzy guessing. seeing a lot of players go for this more safe pinch strategy recently, where they're turning more sideways into the ball. Great save on the air double bump there from Mawkzy. As we all know, when Coxer first started to perfect his pinch strategy, he would land side on to the ball. And then it was the 1v1 mains and the freestylers who started to use the now most popular strategy, air rolling 90 degrees and flipping into the ball. But of course, the disadvantage to doing that is that your recovery will be a little bit more slow. So if players can continue to get reliable pinches while approaching the ball sideways and flipping in such a way that they can land and continue moving, obviously that will be advantageous. It'll be a faster recovery. Only time will tell if players can consistently pinch the ball on target with that method to the same level as they do with the 90-degree air roll before flipping, kind of the air roll shot pinch. Mickinator, thanks for the 500 bits. He says, I'm guessing you'll be watching the first half of the Euro Cup. Is it England playing tonight in Euros? Is that tonight? No, being completely honest, good luck to them, but I'm not invested at all in I'm not invested at all in England in the Euro final. I'll be completely honest. I do not have a horse in the race. I don't even know who they're playing. I don't know who they're playing against. I've just heard England are playing. England, Germany starts in 5 minutes. Good luck to both teams. May the best team win. I will not be watching myself, but yeah, I'm more invested in CRR Mawkzy. I'm just being completely honest with you guys. But at least for the England women's team, I don't actively want them to lose in the same way that I really, I wouldn't say that I wanted the England men's team to lose either in the grand final, but I knew it would be really funny if they did lose, because there's so many English Rock League pros and English Rock League casters on Twitter who would just be mauling, and I really enjoyed the mauling when the English men's team lost. But I don't think that I've seen that kind of investment from the English Rocket League community in the women's final. So likewise, I'm not as invested in the result, because I don't get to watch my friends and my colleagues mauled should they lose. I don't know, maybe they will mauled. It's always good watching them mauled. But yeah, I've got nothing against the team themselves. So great shot by CRR. He's going to take game one here. Mawkzy was fighting back, coming back for the entire game pretty much. But it is CRR who gets the big win in the kickoff. Mawkzy thought that he could race him to the boost. He was mistaken. Sorry guys, just trying to see if I can get a Yan match after this. I'll let you know if that comes through. CRR kind of panicking there. Needed to try and keep control. It's a tough position, but flipping into the post is never going to be a good recovery, of course. What pro team is CRR on? He's on Guild. They just finished second place in Gamers 8. Great result for them. They swept O1 Esports in the bracket, the playoff bracket. They swept FaZe. A lot of people expected Guild to be competitive in ones, very strong in 2v2. Like, this is how I would describe Guild in Gamers 8. It's like one of the best 2v2 teams, very competitive in ones, and then underdog in threes. But they really showed up in all three game modes, and I recently saw that Guild they've benched Devo from threes, which a lot of people were anticipating, because the other 2/3 of the team is CRR Dorito, both Spanish players. So having Mark by 8 kind of be a free agent at the moment in Europe had a lot of people speculating that he might join and make a full Spanish roster. The rumors that might be happening, I'm not sure. But yeah, also one thing that I'm more surprised by, but I'm in one way I'm surprised by it, in another way I'm not surprised by it, is that Guild have dropped their coach Marky Duda as well. As you guys know, Marky's a good friend of mine. But after finishing second place in a tournament like Gamers 8, to drop your coach is very, very unusual. That's very unusual. Like, you could say the same thing about them dropping Devo. That could be considered unusual as well, because you've just done really well in threes. But I get that if they want to calm in Spanish, if they want to call like hard calm in Spanish in game, then that's a tough one to deny. Like if the players are like, we want to calm in Spanish, we need a Spanish player, you're like, okay, that's a tough one to say no to. But you don't need to hard calm with your coach. And I know that CRR, Dorito, and that they speak English. So, maybe it's the players wanted it. Maybe they wanted a Spanish coach. But I would be surprised. I don't know how it actually went. Just speculating. But I'd be surprised. I'm very surprised if the players requested a Spanish coach. I'd be surprised if the org weren't more. I'm surprised they didn't back the coach who just got them a second place in a big event like Gamers 8 more. If that was me, if I'm an org there, I'm backing the coach who just got a second place. I'd be like, listen guys, you don't need to hard calm with your coach. you don't need a Spanish coach. Like you can definitely communicate in English with your coach. Not an issue. But I could see, it's another situation. Maybe they want to have their coach in hard calming as well. I'm not sure how it works online, but I know on LANs your coach is standing behind you, so maybe the fact that the coach doesn't understand what they're saying, they consider that to be too much of a problem. Not sure if you're if you're allowed to have a second person for that role. Like what I would have expected to happen in the case of Guild is, keep the coach who just helped you get second place in Gamers 8 as like a strategy coach, and then if you need like someone else to be like in comms at events, like you always see someone standing behind every team at live events, that would have to be a different person. But to just get rid of the guy entirely, I was like, wow, that's surprising to me. I thought that surely after Gamers 8 they were going to be like giving Marky a raise or something. That was overperformance from Guild, in my opinion. Oh, what a lob. Look at Mawkzy. He's got more than just the power on the flicks. He's also got the finesse as well. CRR trying to sneak up behind the ball. Mawkzy just lobs it over him. And it lands in the top corner. And Mawkzy has to be careful here though. CRR, sneaky opponent. Definitely a winner. And if you give him half chances, he'll take them. CRR puts in another one. I really don't want to see Mawkzy go all in and just concede the entire pitch to CRR, because this is where CRR wants to be. He wants to be up close and personal. He wants to be next to your goal. He wants to be able to threaten 50s, threaten shots. And if you just give him those free opportunities, it plays right into his strengths. CRR unable to land the reset shots on target. Mawkzy unable to land his car on the ground after saving it. Still very awkward position for Mawkzy. CRR backing him into a corner again. Mawkzy calls the early challenge, beats CRR to the punch, and now it's a race to the ceiling shot. Mawkzy decides to fake it and go slow. Only after he got close enough to the ball to force the pre-jump out of CRR. CRR could see that Mawkzy was right next to it, jumped in the way of him. CRR could definitely have played the ball there and actually still made contact. Should Mawkzy make early contact as well. A bit of a mistake to give Mawkzy the free goal, but still, well done by Mawkzy. You might have noticed a couple of kickoffs ago, CRR showed how to counter the delayed kickoff strategy. We saw the delayed kickoff strat work really well in the previous show match, Gom versus Naipo. Gom just approached late in game 1 and got a big blocking touch. Now, if you want to do that, if you want to make sure that, if you want to get a big blocking touch, you've got to make your first flip convincing. That's what Gom did in that matchup. But if you want to stop somebody from doing that, if somebody keeps on faking their approach in the kickoff against you, they keep catching you off guard with a very late flip into the ball, then the way to counter it is to make sure that you yourself are flipping late into the ball when you're actually impacting it. You're not arriving late, you're flipping late into the ball. So you hit it. You'll see probably both players doing it here. There you go, right on the impact point. You're not flipping and then there's a gap and then you hit the ball. It's not like a pre-flip. It's just a flip and then immediately contact. And you roll. You've got to roll with the ball as well. You can't get a glancing blow, otherwise you will just get dunked on. CRR with a bit of a mistake here. Panicked after Mawkzy tried to bump him. He couldn't get back to save the ball bouncing into his open net. Mawkzy with a kickoff win. Almost confirms the game in his favour here. He just has to recover well, and this will be most likely game over. That should do it. Mawkzy creating a bit of space. So hold on, actually. Nearly blunders it as CRR got back behind him. CRR's going to give it a go here. He knows he's got to get moving pretty quickly here. He's going to try and create something. Mawkzy, smarter than to leave the ball with this much time left on the clock. He's just sticking to it, and he knows that even if he's likely to concede at some point during this exchange, it doesn't matter because he's going to knock all the time off the clock anyway. And there it is. Game 2 does go to Mawkzy. He does equalize the series. CRR let his plan be known pretty early on in Game 1, although Mawkzy would have been aware of it going into the series in the first place. Mawkzy has been countering CRR's early moves in the ball with early flicks of his own. You know, Mawkzy's kind of built to counter the CRR defensive playstyle. He is built to just get early moves on the ball with his flick game. How is CRR going to handle that? Let's find out. Mr. Blind, thanks to the Prime, and also Pessimistic Penguin, thanks to the 4-month Prime. Welcome back to the channel. I'm actually really confused. I was telling you guys earlier on that I've got I'm waiting on a delivery, and I have been waiting on a delivery all day. I swear I haven't heard it arrive. I've got to sign for something, so I'll probably have to like run AFK at some point today during this stream. But it was supposed to arrive like more than an hour ago, so this is a bit of a weird one. Delayed air dribble by CRR. Barred out and in! Oh my goodness, what a finish! CRR managing the boost as carefully as possible here. Look how much lift he got on the ball at the end there, while still slotting it underneath the bar. I said that as your delivery arrived. Yeah, still waiting on mine though. Maybe he went to yours instead. It's a strong early jump by CRR, perfectly predicting the height of Mawkzy's approach. Mawkzy decides to play the ball instead of the boost immediately. Of course, he will wave dash and pre-flip back into position with ease. This has been the other strength of Mawkzy recently. Besides the flick game, it's his movement that's really looked like it's leveled up recently. CRR again, just spotting an open into challenge. Mawkzy trying to fake CRR, trying to get him to back down, trying to get some space, and again, he's trying to get some space here. That's what Mawkzy wants. He wants CRR to leave him alone. He wants some alone time with the ball. The CRR does not give space. Mawkzy gets around him anyway, though, underneath with the pseudo floor pinch here from close range. It was all about darting to the side. No, he actually didn't floor pinch this. He just used his jump to go downwards, the upside down jump, and then slotted it underneath CRR with a shot. All of you guys started talking about Justin's position in the NA right now. Is this the same conversation as we had the other day with the player ranking stream? Like, where does Justin rank in NA right now? Type 1 in chat if you think Justin's a top 5 NA 1v1 player. No, sorry, not 1v1, not 1v1. NA 3v3 player. Type 1 in chat if you think he's a top 5 NA 3v3 player at the moment. Let's see. That's quite a lot of ones actually, but mostly 2. So it looks like the popular opinion is that Justin is not a top 5 player. But you've got to remember, if you put Justin in your top 5 3v3 players, you're putting him ahead of one of Daniel, First Killer, Atomic, Beast Mode, JNaps, Chicago. You know, after Chicago's Landon performance, maybe you could say that he's better than Chicago. I personally wouldn't myself. I would still put all of G2 ahead of Justin right now. You're putting him ahead of AJ, most likely, if you're putting Justin top 5. Again, people like to hate on AJ, so maybe I could see that being an argument. You know, you're putting him ahead of at least 2 Space Station Gaming players, maybe 3. I think for me, the top 5 in North America is quite clear. It's in no particular order. Atomic, First Killer, Beast Mode, Daniel, and then probably JNaps as well. That would be my top 5. But, you know, you've also got to give a shout to players like AJ. You've got to give a shout to players like Rettles after the recent success. You know, why would you put... I don't know why you would put Justin over all those guys when they don't really have any recent results to speak of. The other teams do. You know, players like Torment, who just had a big Landon as well. And yeah, like I said, Chicago, I'd put him over Chicago. Oh my goodness. CRR taking a leaf out of Mawkzy's playbook with a huge flick. Goes way over the bar though. He still maintains that 1-goal lead, and he's got Mawkzy in a very awkward spot. This could quite easily double up here for CRR. And that shot will do it. 4-2. CRR saw Mawkzy lunging in, and he just slotted it past him. Arsenal underrated. Yeah, Arsenal, he was a bit quieter in London compared to Rettles. You know, Arsenal was clearly the second best SSG player in LA. I think London, I'd probably have to say Rettles. Even though he got the big mistake for the kickoff goal that allowed Moise to come back against him. You know, that's what's become clear from the comms videos, that Rettles thinks it was his fault because Daniel said soft cheat and Rettles didn't soft cheat. But I think at the same time you've also got to point out the fact that Arsenal turned up the line when they were leading with 9 seconds left. I mean, why would you turn up the line there when you could just turn back to your goal and cover everything? So I don't think it was entirely Rettles' fault at all. It's a great demo by CRR. He's in a massively winning position here. It's been a low-scoring game 3, so a 2-goal lead is actually pretty comfortable. CRR not giving Mawkzy many opportunities. Just 5 shots. It's been majority CRR, but this offense breaks down. Mawkzy fakes a reverse into the corner there. Tries to get a mid-air flick, but it fails to connect. CRR lands another demo. Now, how much space is he going to have? Mawkzy spawns at the side of the goal that CRR is coming from. That gives him a nice angle to challenge with. Look at the time that's just disappearing right now. CRR is making Mawkzy's life extremely uncomfortable. Mawkzy looking to dive off the post. CRR just goes across the box instead of shooting. As more time goes off the clock, Mawkzy's fake challenge does nothing. CRR barreling forward once again. Can't go over the boost steal though. The ball's bouncing in a dangerous position. Mawkzy would have scored had CRR stayed in the corner to steal the boost. And no issues. CRR forces Mawkzy to come to him. 20 seconds left. And Mawkzy's fake challenges are not working. CRR's not biting on any of them. He flicks high. Mawkzy knows it's over the bar. Catches CRR rebounding. And that is just a good enough recovery, I think, from Mawkzy. He blocks CRR's approach to the defensive play. And he does eventually score. He had to wait so long for one half chance there. But he gets it. And what kind of kickoff strategy is he going to back up the chance on net with? It's the wave dash. It's pretty decent. Mawkzy shoots first time. CRR is going to save it, but Mawkzy has one more chance on 0 seconds. He says that he's got it in chat as he approaches the ball here. Not going to get a third try at it. Mawkzy tried the quick chat mid-play there. Not sure if that was a distraction attempt or just clip farming, but as it turns out, he did not have it. CRR controlled the closing stages, just as he controlled the majority of this game. Mawkzy has to just go. You know, I said that CRR's taking a leaf out of Mawkzy's playbook in that game with the huge flick that almost broke the backboard, but I think Mawkzy's got to take a leaf. He's got to take a leaf out of CRR's playbook. He's got to just go at some point here. At the end of that game, so many fake challenges just did not work. Mawkzy is not faking CRR with his fake challenges. That's a much better one. He just decides to send it, and it comes out victorious. The bump is on here from Mawkzy. CRR jumps early to avoid it. It's a very good shot on net. Mawkzy's going to need to score himself. He's scored his own car to keep that one out the net. CRR will slot 1-0 in the aftermath. Mawkzy messed up the catch just slightly. If he caught that perfectly, he could have carried it to the corner. Still would have been in a vulnerable position. Would have been wide open for the demo, but that wasn't too bad. CRR has made Mawkzy feel quite awkward in this match. It's something that many players recently have not been able to do. Once Mawkzy gets rolling, he does look unstoppable. And Jack has recently gone on record saying that he thinks Mawkzy, when he figures out how to perfect his style, will be the best ones player. He thinks that he's got the potential, and he's got the mechanical ability, and he's got the smarts as well, but CRR's figured out a way to one-up him here. Also, when Jack played CRR, he's played both these players recently, beaten them both. When Jack played CRR, he felt like he was the less mechanical player, which is very interesting, because I would have said that Jack versus CRR, Jack was the more mechanical player. But when Jack played CRR, he felt like he was getting beaten to the ball a lot. He felt like he was the slower of the two players, and he was in fact having to outposition his opponent in order to win. Not sure if you guys would agree to that, but I think Jack was more mechanical than CRR when the two played. But I think that speaks volumes to CRR's pressure, and CRR's positioning. The fact that Jack thought he was getting beaten to the ball a lot because of mechanics, it shows just how good CRR is at what he does. He is so good at spotting openings to surprise his opponent and make them feel like they're getting smothered, make them feel like they're just getting beaten to every single punch. It's a great save by Mawkzy. He is being stretched thin here. CRR, time and time again, spotting chances to turn around and put Mawkzy in awkward positions. Mawkzy's completely boost starved, has to circle around the box for small pads, wave dash in the approach from CRR, gives him enough momentum to go up 3-1. He is just in the zone right now. He's got Mawkzy playing his game. And Mawkzy is just not as good at CRR's game as CRR is. I don't think anyone's really as good at what CRR does, except him. You know, in chat, guys, who do you think you'd equate CRR's playstyle to? Who do you think can play the CRR style of tons and tons of aggressive challenges? There's one name that comes to mind for me. Actually, that's a good shout, saying Scrub in the chat. That's a very good shout. I think Scrub's pretty good at it, but there's only one player that I think is as good at CRR as, you know, spotting those challenges. Yeah, a lot of you guys are getting it as well. Khaled. I think Khaled is the one guy who's exceptionally good at just continually pressuring the ball and challenging effectively. But CRR is absolutely world-class. Oh dear, he's forced Mawkzy to own goal here. Mawkzy completely misreads what CRR's got planned. He thought an air dribble's coming. CRR just fakes it, and the ball was going to be on target if Mawkzy didn't do something. It's all gone wrong. CRR one step ahead. Mawkzy trying to up the pace here. He knows it. I think Mawkzy he'll definitely know that he's more mechanical than CRR. He is faster than CRR, but CRR has got better spacing, and he has had better 50-50s, and he's made Mawkzy feel so uncomfortable in this matchup. It's getting away from him. Moxie's got to calm down here. He's got so long left in the game, but you can tell that he's just, I think, gambling every single play, because he's worried that if CRR gets control of the ball, he's not going to relinquish control of the ball. CRR fakes at close range. Mawkzy with a gorgeous fake flick finally gets one on the board for himself. And sorry, CRR, but we've got to see this one from your POV, because that was extremely convincing. Mawkzy, who's known for his flicks to the top corner, just lets that one roll into the bottom. Mawkzy's wave dash recovery kickoff getting battered there. CRR goes right through him, takes the boost, reads the downward bounce, and puts in his 7th goal. It's all going wrong for Mawkzy. Aspects of the game that he's usually so strong at are being countered. The boost management is completely in favour of CRR, something that I wouldn't have said earlier on in the series, where I think Mawkzy was more comfortable and definitely more in his flow state. Mawkzy went for a wild corner read there. Wasn't far off, actually, and if there's something that could have got him back in the game mentally, it would have maybe been a goal like this. Well, let's see if this goal, despite the fact that it's not as stylish, will do anything for him. Sorry for the typing. I'm trying to set up a TRK show match for after this one. I'm sure you guys will forgive me. I thought I'd have another game to do it in. I didn't think we were going to be over in 4 with CRR being victorious. But that is where we're headed. CRR once again. This goes right through Mawkzy. And I think that goal is to send him a message as well. You're not the only guy who can fake high and go low. 5 goal difference. CRR is completely mopping Mawkzy here. What a statement win by the Spaniard as he continues to elevate up the rankings. You know, I've called Razier's the next in line for a while now, and I think I'd still stand by that statement. But CRR is up there as well. Perfect touch by Mawkzy to start the counter-attack. But where are the big flicks? He's had one very nicely placed flick today, but no rifles to the top corners. That's been missing, certainly. CRR, I think, is quite well equipped to shut down a flick game before it gets started, but he didn't even have to. Mawkzy, when he had those opportunities, has lacked the power that he sometimes has, and recently has had every time. CRR blocks the low 50 as well. Remains 5 goals ahead. Mawkzy forced to dive. Takes possession one more time. That time is something he doesn't have. He absolutely needs a goal here, or it is going to be over, and the reset doesn't land. Mawkzy, I think, has just lost 3-1 to CRR. He's still going for this. He's continuing to try late in the game, and he does get one, but I think that took just a little bit too long there. GG's, says Mawkzy. I think he knows that CRR's kickoff is too good. He is not going to concede 4 possessions in a row, and he forfeits at 4-8. Perfectly acceptable, in my opinion, to forfeit there. If he had 30 seconds left, I think he would have gone for it, but 20, he's just got no chance. GG's. Now, I'll let you guys in on a little secret here. So, I asked TRK if he wanted to play. He said, yeah, versus who? And I said, let me check. And then he replied, Senzo question mark. And I said, really? And he said, yes. I said, is Senzo popping off? Or is he just practicing? So I'm waiting on a reply there. I want to find out, does Senzo really think he can beat TRK? Or does he just want to practice against TRK? Because I'm quite interested to see that. Senzo in 1v1. I don't know if it's his, I don't think it's his 1v1 debut, but I think it's his actual 1v1 debut.